Our guest is Manuel Santana, the legend, the pioneer of not just only the Spanish tennis, the worldwide tennis. The first question, why point tennis? Why you chosen tennis? Why this sport when you went to the Madrid country club and you apply for a ball boy position?
Well, I think I was very lucky indeed to find out that tennis was the sport for me. So after I saw it for the first day, I said I have to be a tennis player, and I worked very hard, and I'm very happy to be the second Spanish guy after Rafa, of course. But I have four Grand Slam, and I think I'm very proud of myself to help the Spanish tennis.
Who was your hero when you start to play tennis?
Lou Holt. He was a big champion in Australian. And when I was small, I saw all the photos from Lou Holt. I said maybe one day, if I play well, I will be able to play. And I did it, and he was my coach for the last 2 years.
And who was your first coach who discovered your talent?
Well, I was not have money to pay any coaches, so I have to do it all of myself.
Everybody praised your hand-eye coordination. It was amazing. Is one and only in the tennis history. It's bring from your family or genetic, or you developed during the years. It's hard work and hard training.
This is hard training, hard work. I think my family was not possible for them to pay anything to the tennis, so I have to look for some people to help me, and they did it. And I'm very proud to be able to be one of the guys that between the Australians and the Americans, it was one guy, Manuel Santana, who I was not Australian or American, and I was very proud to be the #1 in Europe.
You mentioned Lou Holt, and review your career. You never play in Australia. There is any reason, or some that time we know the 60s. There was any financial reason or other reason that you never trip to Australia?
Well, I played the Davis Cup. We played two finals.
In Brisbane, for example.
In Brisbane and in Sydney.
But the Australian Open is.
Well, they came to me, the people who organized the tournament. And at that time, we were not able to get paid. At least they pay you under the table. So I asked the Australian people, if they pay me 2,000 euros, I will play. And they refused. I said, okay, so this is a business matter. You don't want to pay me 2,000? Well, I don't pay if you don't do it. And look now how the Australian is such a big event. And anyway, I'm not regret to be in this time, because I'm very happy. I'm running the big event in Madrid, the Madrid Open. And I've been Davis Cup team manager. I have done a lot of things for my country and for myself.
You had an incredible forehand, one of the best in the history. Everybody praised your drop shot, the top spin, the lobs. Which is your favorite shot?
Well, since I was small, I learned a lot from the big players. So I was watching a lot. You know, there are many players that they go to the hotel, and they don't spend hours and hours like I do it at the time. And that's why I think I say I have to do something that the Australian and the American, they don't know where they come from. So I make the drop shots, and my forehand was my best shot.
Your first Grand Slam was 1958 in Wimbledon against Alvarez. How you remember that time? How was Wimbledon in the 50s, and how was the experience the first time in Wimbledon, the Mecca of tennis?
Well, I think it was very strange for us that we learned how to play in clay. So you went to Wimbledon, and I lost to Alvarez, which it was ridiculous. with the difference between him and me in the clay. But I said, well, this didn't happen because I don't prepare myself. So in 64, 65, I decided not to play in Paris and going to England to play tournament because I said, well, if I don't win in Wimbledon now, I will never do it in my life.
In 1960, Roland Garros, you beat Lever in 5. 1961, you beat Emerson, and after Lever in 5, and the last set was 6-love, and in Pietrangeli in 5 sets. How you get this fantastic stamina, against the best players, and straight back-to-back victory in 5 sets? Not a lot of players can beat Lever in 5, and especially the 5th set 6-love.
Well, I think at that time, maybe as a foreigner with these big players, so they never thought a small guy like me, I could beat them, and especially the one who I have done very well all the time was Rod Laver, because I beat him in my first big tournament, and in my last tournament as a pro, in the Spanish Open in Barcelona, I beat Laver in 3 sets. I said, well, it's finished, it's finished.
How you remember the US Open 1965? You beat Ashe after you beat Drysdale. The first time ever when a Spanish player meets in a South African player in the final. Your first final here in Forest Hill. How you remember? What is your best memory from this tournament?
Well, because until the US Open, I was lucky to be able to play in a different surface, but not in grass. So I said I have to learn how to play in grass, because if I don't do it, I will never be probably the US. At that time it was grass here in New York, and then it was the year after it was in Wimbledon. So I think it was the time for me during the 60s, from Roland Garros until Wimbledon.
See, 1963, you chosen Roy Emerson and won the Roland Garros in a doubles. Why you chosen one of your biggest rival? How is this double is complete?
Well, at that time we were so much friendly. And Roy Emerson was one of my best friends. And I said to Roy, listen, Roy, I like to play in doubles with you because I like to win in doubles here. And I know, knowing him, he said, okay, let's go. And we won the tournament. So it's not easy for many people to understand how I was fighting with the big guys and be able to win some, and that's why I'm very proud of myself.
The following year, 1966, it's very memorable, another memorable. You sacrificed missing the Roland Garros to win the Wimbledon. Today is like a lot of players doesn't understand, but you wanted to win so much this Wimbledon.
I was very disappointed. Every time I was going to Wimbledon, playing very well in the clay court. I said, but a big guy, to play tennis, you have to try to play any surface. So I refused to play Paris, and I went to London. I rented an apartment for 1 month, and I was playing a small tournament in grass. And I think, well, I think this is the year for me, and I did it.
Fantastic. And you won the Olympic Games. When it was bring back to the Olympic Games, the tennis, the demonstration game in 1968 in Guadalajara. You was a part of the men doubles Spanish team. They won a silver medal with Manuel Orantes. How you remember this time? And after, you don't think that it was a long break where tennis is out, Olympic without tennis until '88?
Well, I used to be very close friend to Juan Antonio Samaranch, who was the president of the Olympic Committee. I said, Manolo, I love tennis, and I want to see tennis one year I don't know when, but if you can start helping me, I will try to have Mexico to play a demonstration tournament. And I think after, if you help me to arrange me the other players to come to Mexico, I think will be nice for us, for Spain, and for me, that next time they were the Olympic Games.
So that is the story until how can get back the tennis to the Olympic Games. The first finalist in Wimbledon was 1921, Manuel Alonso. You won in Wimbledon, and the Spanish tennis had to wait until Rafa won again in Wimbledon. When you remember when was the first time you met Rafa?
Yes, as a tournament director of the Madrid Open, Rafa called me and said, Manolo, can I have a wild card to play in your tournament? I said, of course, it will be a great opportunity for you. And I remember he went and he lost to Correcha in the first round. And he was like a type of, sorry, Manolo, I lose the first round. I said, well, but I think you have so much potential. And he said to me, next year, the later 2 years' time, I will win the tournament. And he did it. And Rafa is a big champion. It's incredible how he plays, how he fights. And I have a great admiration for him.
If in your prime time, in your top form, Manuel Santana play today's Rafa, which surface you want to play and which Grand Slam?
I will play in clay court in Paris, knowing that Rafa had won 9 times.
Now you stand this series is another, so it's
another one. So, but I think it was the only way that I could beat him if it was possible. But the most important thing is that Rafa is going to be there for all his life as a great player, the best Spanish player ever. And I'm very proud to know him and to find out how big champion is.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it was a privilege to meet you, to make an interview, and it's a fantastic feeling that seeing that you hand by hand with Rafa giving the torch to the next generation.
Because Rafa, we have one thing together. Both of us, we say the Real Madrid. Rafa Real Madrid, I'm Real Madrid, so every time that we have opportunity to go together, we go to see the match.